Today we're going to turn this into this. So this is a couple of sketches of my trailer that I want to build. The trailer is 4 by 8 and about the height of the siding of the wood of the original trailer is about 2 feet. So my plan is to turn this trailer of mine into a boxed in little shed that a place that I could put my solar panels on top of the roof. Well, the first thing we have to do, of course, is to take apart the old wood. Now, I painted this last year, and it actually held up by using cheap Walmart paint, $3 paint. Everything still looks good, held up really well. And we have to take this all apart. Good. So now the trailer's taken apart. That's pretty good. That wood was completely rotten. So we're starting with new and fresh wood. So this here is my trailer completed, almost completed. The battery box is going to be put on next. But just to show you, there's a 4 by 8 trailer. It's I had a budget about $350 for material and wood and everything. I was not under budget, but I wasn't over budget too. So let's open up inside. I already put stuff in here. It has tons of room. Tons of room. Yeah, so it's right now I painted it black. I might get siding for it. I actually kind of like it as is. It rained all day yesterday, so it watertight, water sound. Like I said, it's all the materials plus the materials left over was $350. That was my budget, I admit it. That's including the roofing material, except for the solar panels. I don't know if you can see those, but the solar panels were $600 that my mom bought, actually. But yeah, and it even has a little deck that can fold up and lock up. So that's nice. So now what we're gonna start putting together is the battery box. Now there's a 1000-watt inverter right there. It's a sine wave inverter, or Yeah, sine wave inverter right here. That was on sale, got a good price. Got the charge controller, and got to zoom in, not zoom in, just focus. Got a charge controller, that was a very good price. A box of 250 feet 12 gauge wire was a good price, and 2 batteries. I had a budget of $450 and I met that budget. So the only thing I didn't buy was the solar panels that was on the roof. Focus again. Solar panels that's on the roof. But everything else, I met my budget. So, and even the inverter has a little cutout hole, so I can get to the plugs. Going to be one set of extension cords going to go into the trailer, so have its own power. I also have 2 remotes to turn on the inverter. One's going to go inside the house, and the other one is going to be on the splitter, goes in the trailer. So I don't have to go open up the battery box. Now, what I need to do is, this is 10 gauge wire, jumper cables or booster cables, whatever you want to call them. 10 gauge wire, I need to cut it to length. Another thing is I need to put air vent holes in the box because I don't want the inverter. Okay, so I got this box at Walmart for 25 bucks. The lid, okay, the box was black, but the lid was yellow. So Walmart had paint on for $1 a can. So 1 can it took to paint it black, but it looks so nice now. So with a black box, black lid, being in the sun, I'm going to have to make some air vent holes. Well, you have to do it anyways for batteries. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to also, to make my budget, went to a dollar store and picked up some tie-down strap for $1. They're cheap, they're crap, but it's going to hold the batteries. So they're just strong enough to hold the batteries. I'm going to get about 4 batteries in here, but I only could afford 2 batteries for now. That's how I met my $450 budget. This was $100 for 1,000 watts. That was really good. This was like $16 for a charge controller. That's also very good. That's like $60 for the 250 foot 12 gauge wire. That already started using some of it. So yeah. Oh, and the building material included 1,000 long screws and about 500. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim some air vent holes underneath the handles. Is because that's where I'm going to be able to keep it from getting water inside. Because you've got a power inverter and batteries and wires. It's not going to be good if you get water inside. Pop it out. Yep. Nice little square. Got to clean up the edges a little bit. So do the next. Might put a little screen on there for not allow any bugs to get in. But yep, that's start. But yeah, nice big holes. Right, so, and now we should focus again. Now this is PWM charge controller. I wasn't thinking when I ordered this charge controller. The reason why it is so cheap is because that well, once again, I wasn't thinking. Now this is a 30 amp charge controller, and it can handle up to 50 volts open current, and the solar panels are 30 to 8 volts open current. So the reason why I looked for this one, has a USB jack on it. Now the the reason why I said I wasn't thinking when I ordered this, because I wanted MPPT, and those are more expensive, yes, but it's the one that I actually wanted. And when I seen this one, and I searched for MPPT, and it's funny, if you do search for MPPT, it will come up as PWM for their panels, and this also is very tiny. Holy, they're supposed to handle those panels. I wouldn't be surprised this blew up, or like, you know, this died right away. But this, according to what they said online and according to the box, it can handle the panels. So I'm gonna take their word on it, unless it does blow up, and then I'm gonna be really upset. But yeah, so this is going to go mounting on the trailer, and I think later I'm going to get some plexiglass and make it watertight. It's watertight now, but I'm going to make it more. Alright, so now I just mounted the battery box in. There's the strap for the batteries. Now I like to use booster cables because they're cheaper, more cost efficient, but they also come when you cut off the alligator clips. I had these things holding 1-inch thick 4x8 plyboard onto a table because I didn't have any other set of hands, and these things hold them on so tightly, and they were basically free with the wire. So just cut off the ends, what you don't use, and you got your 10 gauge or 4 gauge, or yeah, this was the cheapest way to go, the 10 gauge with $10 at Walmart. But they also had 4 gauge 20 foot for $40, and we're thinking about that. But alligator clips come really. So now I got a camera woman, I can have a hand free. Thinking about there. First time the clamps were in my way. Okay, so I want you to go about there. Yeah. You go there, and might have enough to go to the batteries too. We'll try to lower it. What do you think, camera person? Around here. One problem is my wire strippers are not
handy.
No, my wire strippers are handy, but unfortunately my wire strippers can't strip this thick of wire. So where you have a box cutter or a utility knife come in. Yeah, it's a lot tougher than last time I remember. Come. Which one's this? This one is for this. Why is my thick to fit in here? A lot smaller than I originally thought this was going to be. It didn't stay. So it's the right size. I don't even know if if it can handle this charge cord to output for this power inverter. So the reason why I left a little bit extra length is because I might have to attach the power inverter to the batteries themselves. But then I won't get a reading on how much power I'm taking out. So I was hoping that this charge controller can handle the output of the inverter. Just like the other one that's over there. That one tells you how much amperage you take out. So here hopes this one does the same thing. These are nice and tight, snug. Loosen the bolts before attaching. I keep on forgetting where I put this. I don't know exactly what order you should probably install this. Is it the batteries first or it's the solar panels? But I like to do the batteries first because then the solar panels put out 38 volts and I don't want to blow up the charge controller. But if we have a load, and that would be the batteries, then it knocks it down. So I like to do hook up the batteries first and then hook up the solar panels. But I could be doing it wrong. Okay, so now pull my lengths that I want. I don't have the proper what is it? The wire clips to go through the bolts, but I'm just going to wrap it around for now. Pull that one through. You can come closer if you want. So now I gotta go get my tool so I can tighten these down. There's that one. And this one. See, a proper wire, whatever that thing is, it just goes over, and it's so you don't have to do this. I might need some more length because I need a bit more length because I gotta wrap it around.
Sorry about that.
Attaching the two negatives together. Once again, doing it one at a time because I don't want to touch the wires together and electrocute myself. So those, though that this is solar powered, this is solar powered, if you touch the, there's enough amperage, there's 15 amps per panel. If you touch these together, you're going to get a good shock. So that's why we have to do it one wire at a time. Smaller systems, you could probably get away of, you know, being a little bit more reckless, but bigger panels like this, you just have to remember that there's enough current here to hurt or kill you. So this thing takes like 0.6 of an amp to stop someone's heart, and there's 15 amps, so there's a caution involved, definitely. Of course, it's going to find the shortest distance to your heart, so I cut a little extra and I trim it. I would normally solder this, but once again I'm dealing with a lot of current and I don't want to accidentally touch something I'm not supposed to. So I'm just doing it like this for now. I might come back and resolder it later when I have another hand. Oh, this thing hums when the panel's on. It says 14 volts already, and it shuts off. I want to make sure all the wires are tight before. I don't want one of these wires touching each other because that would just be bad news. Carefully turn it around. Now I got a good idea where all the wires are going to go. So 13.8. So the batteries are fully charged already. Okay, now that's just going to dangle there for a moment until I get some screws, and we're going to screw it in.
So I just got a question.
What's that?
Are all the wires then, the solar wires, all connected now?
Yep, everything's connected.
Nice.
Um,
Didn't take long.
Nope, it doesn't take long. Just take your time and
Just be careful.
be careful, yeah. I wonder if I can get that behind so it holds it. And this one can go behind too.
Do you want me to stop while
Nope.
and I can help you there?
No,
Nope.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Also, the wires, by going behind, is going to help by leaving an air gap behind.
The controller.
These are probably way too long screws, and I'm going to probably have to replace them, but that's a little bit low, but at least it's your height.
Needs to be lower if it's my height.
That's right, you're on a 3-foot ladder right now, holding the camera up. Alright, now I just got some zip ties. Zip tie the wires up so they look pretty. Don't need that. And so I still need to tighten the bolts down. The zip ties are over on the other side. But yeah. You're gonna $10, and I have a 13 now. If I remember, 10 is for car batteries, and 13, yeah, 13's the right one. Always have two guesses. Normally one of them's right, but so I like this one because the handle also turns it too, so I don't accidentally move it over and touch the bolt by mistake. That was Tim with the Jaguar. Put the wrench on top of the two terminals. Ah, the Jag's on fire. What? Jag's on fire. Don't worry, Tim's not going to watch this anyway. This one was very loose. Either that, oh, it was loose. It's either that or I broke something. course, tightening up the connection is going to give me a better signal. When you have the solar panels hooked on, it hums. So it's like, it's a little bit high for it, but it says you can do up to 50 volts open current. So 50 volts open current. Just watch it turn on the inverter, then it dies. Because you can't handle the power. But it's supposed to, but since when China gives us a bad product. Never. I wonder if I put these caps on for safety. I can. Extra safety. Somewhat. It worries me when things give you a hum. Get on there. Get on there. Got a zip tie. This little zip tie. Now I have 2 remotes for this. They're not hooked up yet, but we can try it. Yeah, it says 14 volts. Perfect. Lit up. Don't know if you can zoom in down there or not zoom in to see the numbers. They're sideways.
Yeah, I see numbers.
So it's zeros, 13, 14. And then it switches to 120 volts, and then it says how much current's coming out, and it's nothing. So that's good. And switch, so it's it off. Yeah, just have to close it up and put a lock on it. And so that's a solar powered utility shed. The utility trailer shed. So this is what it looks like with the battery box closed. Gotta put a couple of locks on the battery box. But yeah, looks, that's